In the comic store, no one can hear you scream. But that's not even close. That's not true at all. They can hear you scream and you'll probably get kicked out of the store. Here's your look at the new Funko. This is the vinyls of Ellen Ripley and Xenomorph. Yeah, on second thought, don't scream. Scream's a bad idea. Celebrating 40 years of Alien. Can you believe 40 years of Alien? This set includes the original sole survivor of the Nostromo, Ellen Ripley, which is not 100% true. Her cat also survived. And also that pesky alien, the one that was killing off, all the crew of the Nostromo, leaving Ellen the sole survivor. Let's go ahead and get the tape measure going. A slightly new release from the folks over at Funko. Was very pleasantly surprised to find this at my local comic book store. Ellen Ripley, the sole survivor, still not 100% true. She stands 4.6 inches. Get a gander at that, my friends. Switching that over to centimeters, we're looking at 17.7 centimeters tall. Now we're going to go ahead and switch that back. We can go back in time and get the measurements going for Big Chap, the big old alien from the original Alien film. Of course, as you could probably guess, he is taller than, of course, Ellen Ripley there to the left. Just how tall? Well, let me break that down to you. Not substantially long breaking down, simply just a case of telling you it's 4.8 inches in height, which in centimeters works out to be 12.2 centimeters tall. Both the vinyl figures come included with their supplied display stands. I will say that the display stands are unique to the figures. Let me show you what I'm talking about right here. I'm going to go ahead and take the display stand off the alien. I'm surprised actually that both of them are standing as well as they are. They were actually kind of toppling over. Well, they were toppling over before this camera started rolling. You can see that they are unique in size to one another. Ellen's is smaller than the Xenomorph, so it has to be specifically sized appropriately. I suppose you could use this one for the Xenomorph. You most definitely cannot use this one, though, for Ellen Ripley, so it has to be unique. I'm not really, again, sure why. From a molding perspective, it simply just makes more costs on the part of Funko to produce unique molds to one another. I don't know why they just don't use the same stands and simply just make the peg holes the exact same on the underside of their feet. But hey, what do I know? I don't work for Funko. I'm just a modest reviewer. We're going to go ahead and I guess I can really just put these to the side. It's not as if I really do need them. They seem, again, to be standing perfectly fine. Cue the time now that they would topple over. Okay, it's not happening. Let's have a look first at Ellen Ripley, a nice, spectacular little recreation of Sigourney Weaver in one of her most famous, I think it's safe to say her most famous role. She does come with the portable tracker, the Nostromo portable tracker that she uses frequently in the film. It's been painted here in green with a little bit of silver on the end of it. Sad, again, to say that I suppose it wasn't necessary, but it would have been neat if they had included Zunar J59 Dork 57 or Jonesy. Well, that's quite the name. Jonesy the cat sadly doesn't make any appearance in this set release. I suppose they could have just given a little Jonesy on the side of the cat. I don't know, on the side of her leg. Am I asking for too much? I guess at the end of the day, she does come with a little portable tracker, so that is something. Also could have come with her flame torch as well. A nice little, again, look for Ellen Ripley. You probably already know from the countless hours, and thank you for doing that you've watched this channel, that I'm a big advocate. I pounded it off there for a second, of the vinyl figures. There's something about them, I find them much more appealing and pleasing to look at versus the Funko Pop vinyl figures. Those are bland to me. These ones just have a neat personality to them. Of course, a visible nose, also something of which that is made famous here on the vinyl figures. But again, that's a nice little representation of Ellen Ripley. I don't really know why, but I guess it's maybe just the glue. Maybe they used the generic head portrait, and I'm guessing the nose is probably unique on most of these vinyl figures, that they just kind of swap in and out whatever hair that they want to decide they want to use for it. This mound of flock on the back of her, well, coming out from her forehead of her hair, kind of looks like it's made out of clay. Like I want to squish it and squeeze it and manipulate it and turn it into a little castle. But it's not. It's made of plastic. And again, I think it's just been glued to the back of her head. Unfortunately, the result of that, though, is if you tilt it slightly to the side, I don't know if you can see it or not, there's a little bit of kind of residual there on the side of her face. That's a bit of a shame. On this side, it's not so bad. A little bit there on the top there as well. It's probably, again, just the fact that they had to put an adhesive on it and stick the hair on the back of the head. She's got her Nostromo outfit on there. There's a few little patches located on the side of her sleeves. And she's also got the little logo and little name badge there as well. Little small attentions to detail that I appreciate. Like also the fact that they've given her a watch. Little bit of paint right there. That's not going to be, I'm sure, on every single figure. But as my job as a reviewer, I'd like to point out the fact that there's a little bit of paint also right by her neck. Again, nice little representation of Sigourney Weaver. I would love to see a sequel release of her in vinyl treatment. The classic Ripley with the shorter, the shorter hair, and again, maybe like an alien queen. Oh, that would be a fun vinyl set. I probably would get that in a heartbeat. So her articulation is her head rotates all the way around. That's all. That's all you're going to get from it. Doesn't move up and down. I guess they could do a ball joint on these guys or girls, as it would be the case here. But just a straight swivel. That's all you're getting from Ellen Ripley. Again, surprising that she does stand. I kid you not. She was falling over. Now I'm just made out to be looking like a liar. Let's have a look at the Xenomorph. A nice representation of the big chap. Would have liked, though, that the dome be a little bit more translucent. I guess to their credit, there is a bit of translucency to it, but not to the point where there is a visible skull that you can make out. I can't even see if there's a skull in there. I can't believe that there would be. Making that a little slightly lighter, I think, like the movie, where you would have been able to see its internal mechanisms, how it all kind of lives and breathes and kills and repeats. Would have been nice if they actually had done that on this as well. Something of which also that this one doesn't feature is a functioning secondary mouth. Nothing opens and closes, pulls out, retracts. It's just simply just printed on there. So you can kind of see, well, you can see a secondary jaw on the inside and then the larger jaw right around that, kind of just nursing it, nurturing it, keeping that little small jaw safe and protecting it against the harsh elements of the world, of course, until that little jaw wants to come out and just say hello to people and kill them in the process. There's not a whole lot of paint to be said for it, so to the credit of Funko, I like that they put these little light highlights there on the legs. Otherwise, it would be a pretty black, all black figure. They've even got that also around the lower abdomen section. They've put the rib cage, what looks to be almost even top of the existing Funko body. So that's really neat that they've done that. Kind of gives you a little bit of different texturings, even though it's printed texturings. It's not something you can actually run your finger across and feel a slight difference in. Keep wanting to manipulate these arms. I can stress to you the stresses of moving these arms. They're not posable. They almost want to, you look at it and you think, gosh darn it, that's got to be posable. It's not. You can, however, rotate the head back and forth. It does kind of course, hit the hand, preventing the head from going all the way around. Again, when it makes that second visit, kind of have to get it around the hand in order to make the full pass. All around, not a bad looking little version of the Xenomorph. Again, leading me putting my hands together, hoping that we do get ourselves an Aliens version of this duo. And obviously they could change out the Xenomorph, make it to the more rigid, domed version of the Aliens made famous in Aliens, or even one better, they could give us the shorter-haired Ripley, of course, and they could give us an alien queen. Now I would be definitely on board for something like that. Speaking also about being on board, what I am most definitely on board of is Funko releasing more vinyls. This is really my favorite thing that Funko is producing right at this moment. Funko Dorbs, for my argument at least, should be something that just could be dismissed altogether and just abandon the line. I don't even know why they're still producing Funko Dorbs. Does anybody buy Funko Dorbs? Anybody? Anybody in this room buying Funko Dorbs? One person put up their hand. But I might also add, reluctantly. Funko Dorbs, I could really say, could be out like the dodo. I know Funko Pops are really still something that Funko wants to stand on board for, because that is the thing that's making the money for them. But I would love to see them do more of the vinyls. Vinyls for me is really the best thing that Funko is doing right now, short of the mystery minis, which I know, I don't really do as much as I used to. They're stylistic, the Funko vinyls, that is. They're small, and they're kind of cool representations of certain characters from some of your favorite properties. So maybe not something that I would advocate getting every single vinyl that's out there. It's kind of really the same vein as the Funko Pops. You're likely probably only going to get the ones that are specific to the property that you really do like. Obviously, it would be a no-brainer for something like Alien and an Ellen Ripley and Xenomorph. It had to be something I would have picked up, and I'm really, really glad that I did. This, of course, expands the idea that they could go even further with the Alien property, giving us an Ellen Ripley from Aliens, or even further from that, maybe an Ellen Ripley from Alien 3, and give us a corresponding Xenomorph relating to each one of those films. While we're also kind of on the topic of a human taking on an alien threat, if they haven't done so already, which I don't think they have, Funko might also entertain the idea of giving us a Dutch along with a Predator. I can only imagine how cool that one would be. If you guys are interested in picking this one up for yourself, the good news, though, is the vinyl of Aliens, Ellen Ripley, and Xenomorph. This set is currently available in comic book stores, and it just came out, too. So finding this one should be relatively easy as the Xenomorph was in finding the crew members of the Nostromo, killing every single one of them until Ellen Ripley was the last one. And, of course, there was Jonesy. But Jonesy didn't really do all that much. He just kind of hid and went, Either way, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't done so already. Make sure you turn on the bell notifications down below if you haven't done so already. And stay tuned. That's something you can still do, because future videos, including maybe some future vinyl reviews, will be coming soon to this channel. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.